For more on this tonight, I'm joined live by Liberal MP for Burlington North-Milton West and the Secretary of State for Sport, I should say, Adam van Koeverden. Mr. van Koeverden, thanks for making some time for us tonight. Some critics say the budget does not include enough funding to effectively support Ontario's aging infrastructure. Do you think it's enough to meet the needs of your constituents in Burlington and Milton?
Well, thanks, Matt, and I appreciate you having me on. Thanks for the question. This is a generational investment in infrastructure, particularly on community infrastructure, the type of infrastructure that Burlington and Milton, as well as Hamilton and the Greater Toronto area, all needs. We're talking about affordable housing, but it goes bigger than that. We're not just building housing, we're building communities. I was extremely proud to see $51 billion over the next 10 years for the type of community infrastructure that we know Canada needs, not just the GTA, not just Ontario. The reason I know that Canada needs that is because this summer I spent quite a lot of time talking to my provincial and territorial sport, physical activity, and recreation ministerial partners from every province and territory across the country. And their number one concern was that we need to build more infrastructure. And when I go into communities, when I talk to parents, they say, we would love to sign our kids up for swimming lessons. We would love more ice pads. We would love a field house. We'd love a bubble for more indoor soccer in the winter when the weather's inclement. So, I know I took a sport angle on that, but truly this is an investment budget on infrastructure with a never before seen influx of investment right across the country. And, for Hamilton viewers tonight, I'd say that tomorrow we're really proud to be announcing some funding for the Hamilton Downtown YMCA. So that's the type of investment that we're going to be seeing in towns and cities right across this country, because truly it is time to build Canada. We need to make sure that we are our best customer for our steel, aluminum, manufacturing, and lumber sectors, but across the board. We need to be less reliant on the United States, more resilient to global shifts, and that's why we've seen the Prime Minister meeting with global partners and ensuring that our foreign direct investment is up and that people want to do business with us and buy our goods and our services. Really, really heartening news today economically. We saw 67,000 jobs added to the Canadian economy. I'll give credit where credit is due to the Canadian workers, to innovators, to employers, to Canadian businesses who are making those jobs happen. And we also saw about $6.5 billion invested in Canada from other countries just last week. So the plan's already working. I'm heartened to see support from other parties, because that's how politics works when it's at its best, is when parties come together, leave their differences at the door, and focus on solutions for Canadians.
You can only spend so much, of course, so we're going to spend all this money on defense. Does that mean we're going to be overlooking more money spent on infrastructure, things that previous governments have neglected developing for many years now?
Well, I'm really proud of the fact that this budget sees a large increase in the salary for our service people. We're all wearing poppies, expressing how proud we are to live in Canada and how grateful we are for the sacrifices of service people, particularly in the Canadian Armed Forces, over many, many decades. But a good way to show that gratitude is certainly to honor them with a well-deserved pay increase. So, that is just one of the Canadian Armed Forces related investments that we've seen. But something that you said, Matt, is the difference between spending and investing. When you spend money, you go out for lunch. You need to spend some money on lunch. You might spend some money on something kind of frivolous that you don't see a return on that investment. But I think of as an investment as going to university. You get an education, you're going to see a return on that investment. You pay your mortgage, now you own more of your home. That's what Canadians know. And this isn't a spending budget, this is an investment budget. This is an investment budget that sees new infrastructure and investments in things that are going to pay off in the long term for Canadians. It's a long-term vision. And like I said, we are developing more resilience and less reliance on the United States and other foreign counterparts, and investing in ourselves. We've actually seen that other countries have traditionally been more willing to invest where Canada has always been a little bit more austere. It's really worth pointing out that Canada's debt to GDP ratio, our overall debt and our deficit are among the lowest in the G7. We have a AAA rating with all of the agencies that look at the fiscal arrangements in various countries around the world. So Canadians can rest assured. We've got a great Prime Minister with a strong economic background. He understands how governments run and how the economy works very, very well. We're extremely lucky to have Mark Carney as our Prime Minister. And I'm very, very fortunate to be working for a man with that kind of economic acumen.
That's the Liberal MP for Burlington North-Milton West and the Secretary for Sport, Adam van Koeverden. Mr. van Koeverden, thank you for your lengthy answers this evening. Appreciate it.